Why did the first ever World Cup almost get canceled before a single ball was kicked? Today, billions of people watch the tournament. It is a multi-billion-dollar machine. But back in the 1920s, football had a massive problem. The Olympics were the biggest sporting event on the planet, but the Olympic Committee had a strict rule. Only amateur athletes could compete. Meanwhile, football was changing. Players in Europe and South America were secretly getting paid. The sport was turning professional, and the men running FIFA realized something important. If they didn't create their own tournament, they would lose control of their own sport. Enter Jules Rimet. He was the president of FIFA, and he had a wild dream, a standalone global football championship. In 1928, FIFA officially approved the idea, but they needed a host. Uruguay stepped up with an offer that was impossible to refuse. They were the back-to-back Olympic champions. They were celebrating 100 years of independence, and they promised to pay the travel and hotel costs for every single team. Plus, they were going to build a massive state-of-the-art stadium just for the event. It sounded perfect, but that wasn't the biggest problem. Just months after the tournament was announced, the 1929 stock market crashed. The Great Depression wiped out economies worldwide. Suddenly, European countries refused to go. Flying wasn't an option back then. Getting to Uruguay meant a 3-week boat ride across the Atlantic Ocean. Players were terrified they would lose their regular jobs while they were away. 2 months before kickoff, exactly 0 European teams had signed up. The grand experiment was on the brink of total failure.
That's when Rimet went into panic mode. He used every political connection he had to save the tournament. In Romania, the newly crowned King Carol II personally intervened. He handpicked the team himself, and he forced their employers to guarantee their jobs would be waiting for them when they returned. Finally, 4 European nations agreed to make the trip: Belgium, France, Romania, and Yugoslavia. 3 of those teams, along with Jules Rimet, boarded the exact same ship. It was called the SS Conte Verde, and Rimet carried the very first World Cup trophy in his personal suitcase. When the tournament finally started in July 1930, there were only 13 teams. There were no qualifiers, you just had to show up. The final came down to a massive rivalry, Uruguay versus Argentina. Over 90,000 fans packed into the brand new stadium in Montevideo. But right before kickoff, there was a bizarre standoff. Both teams demanded to use their own football. They completely refused to back down. The referee finally came up with a ridiculous compromise. They would use Argentina's ball for the first half and Uruguay's ball for the second. Uruguay won the game 4-2, becoming the first ever World Cup champions.
The event was a massive financial and cultural success. Jules Rimet's massive gamble had paid off. A tournament that started with desperate negotiations and a long boat ride evolved into the greatest sporting spectacle on Earth. If this surprised you, there's a lot more history worth uncovering. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.